Um, Hello and welcome all. Thank you for joining us today, and I hope you all are doing well. Stay safe. Um, as Stephen mentioned, we are going to go through the top 10 features of summer 20 release that Salesforce has come with. Um, every year, Salesforce releases three release, and with it comes an enormous amount of features that you can use to improve the productivity on Salesforce platform. My name is Puneet Mehta, as Stephen introduced me. I will go ahead with the presentation. Before we begin, let's follow the safe harbor statement, same as Salesforce. Um, do not make your purchasing decision based on what you see today, because most of the features that we discussed today are going to be in beta or they are not generally available. And Salesforce may take them away in the future if the uh, users do not agree to features they released. So make sure if you're making a purchasing decision, make that decision on what is currently available and not what is in the beta features. Um, As I mentioned about the releases, with every release, there is a release timeline as well. So back in April, you could sign up for a pre-release org so as to test out the new features. Um, then they release the release notes, and then there are sandbox preview. So your sandboxes get the releases before your production org so that you can test new features thoroughly and make sure that it does not break any of your existing customization. Then there is a release site and release module. So where we are currently is at the release weekends. The first batch of release is already out. Some of the production org have them on 12th of June, as you can see here. The next one is on 10th of July, and then finally on 17th. If you want to check whether you have this summer 20 release org already or when it is coming to your org, make sure you go to trust.salesforce.com. So the top 10 features that we have selected today are they will improve the overall user productivity, and these are the top 10 features that we have selected. Uh, Go ahead with the next one. The first one is the Einstein search enhancement. This is currently in beta. Um, it Einstein search brings an incredible power of intelligent search to Salesforce by making it personal, natural, and actionable. So you get a personalized result for each of your user. You get a relevant result for natural language queries. So you can just say, please show me my open opportunities or show my closed opportunities or show my accounts. And Salesforce will return those records directly in the Salesforce. And finally, there is an actionable search bar. So you don't have to go to an individual record to perform an action. So you can directly switch uh, and you can search for a record and perform the action right from the search bar. We are going to do a quick demo on that. Uh, can you, Stephen, can you confirm if you see my screen, the Salesforce org?
Yeah, we can see Puneet.
Yeah. Okay. So on the top now we have an improved search bar. So what you can do is just go and type my accounts, and it will list out all your accounts. It will show you the recommended list views or any of your accounts. If you have, let's say, so what you can do is as soon as you hover on it, it opens up the record and you can add it or perform any of the actions right from the search bar. So you don't have to click on the record and then go and edit it. You can view any of the related lists right straight away from the search bar. So it saves a lot of time for your users. Um, I can write my opportunities, and as soon as I do it, it filters out my opportunities. You don't have to create a list view for it. So that is one new feature. Uh, in order to enable Einstein search, make sure you create a permission set and assign it to the users. This is English only currently, but Salesforce is working to make it multilingual. So yeah, that is one consideration you need to take into, and this is a free features. Let's go back to presentation. So next we are going to discuss about release updates. So you remember we every time with every release, Salesforce comes with new updates, and Salesforce periodically releases updates that can improve your performance, security, logic, and usability of Salesforce. But this can also affect your customization. So once this updates are released, they become available, and now you have a single page where you can see all your updates and you can action on them right away from the screen. What this means for you, if I will show a quick demo on this. So if you go to setup, and this is the first item here, it says release updates. Currently it is in beta, but as you can see, it tells me a list of items that I need to take care of if there is an issue and by what date I should complete it. If you click on view details, it gives you a brief explanation or detail on what is changing, how it is going to affect you, how it is going to affect your impact your org, and what steps you can do directly from here. And once you're ready to take those steps, click on get started. And then it gives you step by step of what you should do in order to release this update to your org or to your users. So you can just mark them as complete, and then it shows you a progress bar. If you think it's not complete, you can just undo it. So this is one page for managing all your release updates and checking if there are any issues or optimized your org. Next, we go to the split view. So if you used many of the email clients like Outlook or Gmail, um, you are used to split views where you have a list of records on the left hand side, and on the right hand side you would have the record detail. So Salesforce has brought that feature to improve the standard navigation, and you can also uh, click on this icon to hide the split view bar. So I will do a quick demo on this as well. So as you can see, this is a list of record. I will show it how it appears currently in a table. If you go to this display as and uh, convert it into split view. So what you can see here is you can click on a record, and it opens a record on the right hand side. So if you keep going, it keep showing the record on the right. If you need more space, you can click on this icon to collapse it. So you have the full page view of the record. Otherwise, you can just go. So this may be very handy for users who work on multiple records at a time. Okay, moving on. Kanban view. So Salesforce released Kanban view a few release earlier, but now they have improved what you can show in the Kanban, and now it also shows a confetti. If there is a celebration, you need to show that they have reached a particular milestone. Now you can show a confetti to show that you have succeeded or reached a particular milestone. How it looks like in a Salesforce environment is um, so this is how it would look in a tabular view. You can just go and display as, click on Kanban. You also decide on which fields uh, This Kanban is displayed. So there is a new feature called as Kanban settings. Click on the Kanban settings. You can say summarize by or group by. So here you would get the lookup field or a pick list field. So I got a lead source here. So it tells me, and you can just drag and drop the record and it would update the status of the record in the background. So you don't have to open a record and update its status. You can do it directly on the screen. Uh, Moving on, optimizer app. So the Salesforce optimizer was released again about 3 years back, where you could generate a PDF with features, uh, what way you can optimize your Salesforce org. But now, instead of generating, along with generating a PDF, you can have the view within the Salesforce. So Salesforce has introduced this optimizer app, which is an interactive way of reviewing and to act on the recommendation for maintaining your Salesforce org. So it is recommended that you go through this optimizer app at least once in a month and make changes as per the suggestion that Salesforce has provided. It's not necessary that you do it, but it would improve the overall performance of your org. I can tell you how it looks like um, within Salesforce. So what you do is uh, go to your apps and type optimizer. So earlier you used to click on a button and it used to create a PDF and send you the reports in 24 hours. So instead of that, now you can see the records or the result directly within Salesforce. So for this instance, it's telling me that a feature user login that requires an action and what kind of feature it is and how much time it will take. So let's say, so detailed tabs, kind of unused reports. So if there are any reports which are not being used by any of the users, it will list down. So what you can do, they have provided some help links here, some recommendation. This is not necessarily that you would take less than 30 minutes. It depends on the org size and it may be a business decision, so it may take more time. But it is good to run this optimizer report every now and then in order to maintain your complete Salesforce org. Moving on, um, this is a big feature called as the in-app guidance. If you see on the top right, it says my Trailhead license required. So all the other features that we saw today, they are free, but this feature requires that you buy the My Trailhead package from Salesforce to be able to use this in-app guidance. What you can do with in-app guidance is you can create multi-step walkthroughs. So you can create guided step-by-step guidance for your users inside the app with walkthroughs and prompts. So if you subscribe to My Trailhead, you can show up to 500 walkthroughs to your users. Uh, this is very handy if you are onboarding or training new users, or if there is a new feature that you have released and you want the feature adoption for it. Again, this is only available in Lightning, so make sure you switch on to Lightning and it won't be available in Classic. I'm gonna show a quick demo of this as well. So in your org, go to Setup and search for Guidance. If you click on in-app guidance, so as I mentioned, this is not a free feature. It comes with My Trailhead package, but you have about 30 days to trial it in your sandbox environment to see whether it is a good fit for your production environment and whether it fulfills your requirement of the business. So you can, Salesforce allows you 30 days of trial. I have only got 1 day left, but yeah. So you get 30 days to try it within your org and you can create a number of walkthroughs and prompts. So how you do it is you go and click on add. Sorry. So you go on add and click on add again. Select whether it's a prompt or a walkthrough. So the difference between prompt and walkthrough is prompt would just display one single prompt. Walkthrough is a series of prompts connected one after another. So if you select single prompt, clicked on next. So this is how it would appear on your screen. So you customize where it will appear. Let's say top left, top right, uh, just the position of it. Click on next. You customize the title to say training and content. So as you type, you can see the description comes here. So this can be very handy if you want to provide information to a new user who has just who has just been recruited, and you would like to explain it to them how uh, your Salesforce org works. You can also customize this button. So you can just say OK and then click on done. Say OK and next. Okay. And once you do that, if you go back, so if I go to my sales app, I can show a quick demo of those. So as you can see, a pop-up appears on your screen to say like this is an opportunity tab, or so you can customize it as your business need. So next, we'll talk about the report subscription. So with reports, uh, there are times when you want the report to be directly sent to you. So currently you get a email to say that there has been update to your report, but now you also get the exact data of the report, and it gets attached to the email which gets sent to you. Um, so what you can do for this is go to reports. Let's say this is a sample report right here. If I click on this, you go to this drop down icon and click on subscribe. You decide the frequency once you would like to receive the subscription or the email with the report detail. Select the time when this should be available. So you can click on attach file and then select what type it should appear to you. So do you want it in a formatted XLS file, or do you want a CSV file? So that you decide. Encoding, click on save. If you want it to send to more than one recipient, you can select that option here and then click on save. So your subscription is updated and you will receive the email with the report. Uh, Fine. Again, there's an update on the flows. So if you have worked with the flows, They have improved, Salesforce has improved the overall user interface of flows. And now you can fire triggers before, you can fire the flows before saving the record or after saving the record. So this is a huge step for Salesforce or a Salesforce admin. So you don't need a developer to create an Apex trigger for you. Instead of that, the admins can use the out of the box feature to create flows, and they would fire as soon as your record is created or before or after it is created. Um, Also, you can now subscribe to platform event. So if anything changes on your platform, you can subscribe to it, and you can fire an after save flow trigger for it. So Salesforce is slowly pushing towards all the features uh, where you can do this with click and not code. So make sure you use the flows in your coming projects. Next, we are going to talk about the dynamic actions. So this has been a big update because this is currently in beta. So and it can be tested in in your sandbox. But what you can actually do is if you have buttons on your page, on the lightning page, now you can display those buttons based on some condition. So if you select a button, click on the button and say whom this button should be available to. So you can specify profile or user or custom permission or based on the record data itself. We're gonna do a quick demo of that as well. So I installed the Dreamhouse application from Salesforce. So if you now go to edit page, so there's a feature on the right hand side which says enable dynamic actions, which is currently beta. So if you click on it, it takes away all your button, and then you select add action. And then if you say like the, let's say edit, and then you can display this edit based on some condition. So if you say broker name is Puneet, or maybe let's take a better example where Dr. Only then show this. So if you click on the edit icon, you see this new icon which says with an eye. So you are controlling the visibility of edit. So if you change the record data, only then this button will appear. So if it matches the condition, let's just change it to say Victor. Click on save. So as you can see, the edit option appears for this. If I go to a different broker, the edit icon, the edit button won't appear because the name does not. It's a bad example, but you can customize the setting as per your business requirement based on pick list value or what is the profile of the users. So if I go back to my lightning page, so if you click on edit again, you click on the edit, so you can decide your filters and then say, whether it should be based on device or if there is an advanced formula that you want to use. Uh, So you can just go here and then select. So maybe if you want to say if user has some kind of permission or the user belongs to some city, or if they belong to a particular department, only then show this edit button. So you can control the visibility of this button right from this. Um, Moving on, the next one is to dynamic forms. So same as dynamic actions, now you can control the visibility of each field or each section within your page. In order to do this, you would have to enable dynamic forms in a setting. Uh, Currently, this is non-GA, which means that they may take it off in the next release. So make sure you test it in your sandbox and do not move it to production until they have made this GA. So we're gonna do a quick demo of this as well. Go back. So if you see, there's now a new component called as fields. So now you can drag and drop all the fields directly onto your layout. So in previously you had to select a record detail and drop it on the page, but now you can control visibility of each field on the layout. So you won't need to override your page with Visual Force page, or you have to write any update within code. You can directly control the visibility. So if you want to say control the visibility of this section, click on this, and then you say what is the filter for it. Same as the buttons, you can decide the fields. In this example, what I've done is the field date closed would only appear if the status equal to closed. Um, it would hide the field from it. And this section again would appear if status is not equal to closed. So if I save on it, and then go to the status record, and as soon as I click close, the fields start appearing. So you can control the visibility dynamically from another field. If I now click on closed, click on saved, so that section on the top uh, gets hidden. So this way you can control the visibility of an entire section or a particular field on the page. We have put together some resources that you can make use of. It includes the uh, original release note to Salesforce. Uh, with the interest of time, we have tried to put only the top 10 features, but it's recommended that you go through the complete release notes and make sure you use the new features. Um, and with that, I'd like to thank you all for joining me today, and I hope you stay safe. If there are any questions, I would love to take them now.
Well, thanks, Puneet. I don't think we've got any questions. I'm not seeing in the chat function. If anybody has got any that's on the call now, feel free to drop them in or take yourself off mute if you want to ask anything at this point. Okay, I think silence is golden. At that point, then we'll wrap up, Puneet. Thank you very much for your time, and thanks everybody for joining. We'll get the recording out to you, and also look out for it on our website as well. But thank you, and have a great day, everyone.
Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.